Get ready, because the foundation of the family is about to crack wide open. Let us start by dissecting that infamous physical altercation between Carly and Z. If you ask me, that stinging slap Carly delivered right across Z's face might just be the starting gun for a brand new emotional storm. On the surface, it seems like a straightforward rejection. Z was publicly flirting with her, pushing her buttons, and playing his arrogant mind games. Carly, currently deeply infatuated with Valentine, naturally reacted with pure hostility. She wanted to send a crystal clear message that no other man is going to intrude upon her romantic territory. The slap was her way of establishing dominance and proving her unwavering loyalty to Valentine. However, high chances are that this physical contact was actually a manifestation of undeniable simmering chemistry. What if that slap was not just anger, but a spark of dangerous passion igniting between two incredibly strong-willed individuals? The tension in that room was thick enough to cut with a knife, and the writers rarely create that kind of fiery dynamic without a long-term payoff in mind. Currently, Carly is fiercely defending her romantic connection with Valentine, refusing to listen to reason from anyone around her. She believes she has finally found her equal, a man who understands her dark side and loves her fiercely. But we all know that peace and happiness are fleeting illusions in this town. The unconfirmed leak suggests that this seemingly solid relationship is about to face insurmountable obstacles. It seems like the universe and the people closest to Carly are conspiring to tear her and Valentine apart. Carly is standing her ground right now, but how long can she truly hold out against a relentless tide of opposition? High chances are that the foundation of her romance with Valentine is much more fragile than she wants to admit. She is clinging to the idea of this passionate love affair, but the reality of Valentine's dark and dangerous life is a looming shadow that cannot be ignored forever. What if Carly is simply in love with the thrill of the danger, rather than the man himself? This is exactly where the heavy interference from Sunny and Anna comes into play. Sunny has harbored a deep historical hatred for Valentine for years. He remembers every single transgression, every manipulation, and specifically how Valentine once tampered with vital medical treatments. Sunny is absolutely not going to sit back and watch the mother of his children fall into the arms of a man he considers a lethal enemy. Meanwhile, Anna knows the deepest, darkest secrets of Valentine's past within the spy agency. She understands the ruthless, cold-blooded nature of the world he operates in. It seems like both Sunny and Anna will launch a coordinated, relentless campaign to pressure Carly into ending things. They will constantly remind her of the risks, the betrayals, and the inevitable heartbreak that comes with loving a man like Valentine. The truth might be way more complicated than just protective friends. This could be a calculated psychological warfare designed to break Carly's resolve. The psychological toll of this constant pressure will inevitably begin to wear Carly down. Imagine being surrounded by the people you trust most, all of them telling you that your current path leads only to destruction. High chances are that Carly will start to internalize these warnings. She will begin to doubt her future with Valentine, questioning whether the passion is truly worth the constant anxiety and the alienation of her loved ones. The behind-the-scenes whisper indicates that Carly will experience a profound moment of vulnerability, a deep sense of loneliness as she realizes that loving Valentine means fighting the rest of the world. What if this intense isolation is exactly what creates the perfect opening for someone else to step in? Carly is a woman who thrives on connection and loyalty, and when she feels isolated, she becomes incredibly susceptible to anyone who offers her a safe harbor. This drastic storyline shift will see her defenses slowly crumbling under the weight of everyone's disapproval. As the fractures in her relationship with Valentine widen, Z will be waiting in the wings, ready to capitalize on her emotional exhaustion. I suspect that Z is not the kind of man who gives up easily after a single slap. In fact, her fiery rejection likely only fueled his obsession. What if Z strategically positions himself to be the supportive shoulder Carly desperately needs when her world starts falling apart? High chances are that Z will drop his arrogant facade and approach her with surprising gentleness and understanding. He will listen to her vent about Sunny, about Anna, and about the impossible situation with Valentine. It seems like Z will become her unexpected confidant, the one person who isn't judging her or telling her what to do. The truth might be way more complicated than a simple rebound. Z could be executing a masterfully calculated seduction, knowing exactly which emotional buttons to push to make Carly feel seen, heard, and ultimately desired. The unconfirmed leak points to a shocking evolution in their dynamic. Through sheer persistence and undeniable charm, Z will slowly begin to win Carly over. The woman who once slapped him in a fit of rage will find herself looking forward to his unexpected visits and his sharp wit. High chances are that we will witness a classic enemies to lovers trope unfolding right before our eyes. Carly will try to fight it, of course. She will try to maintain her loyalty to Valentine, but the emotional distance between them will make Z's presence increasingly irresistible. What if Carly and Z actually cross the line and become a full-fledged romantic couple? This would send absolute shockwaves through the entire community. A drastic storyline shift of this magnitude would fundamentally alter the power dynamics in town, aligning Carly with one of the most powerful and mysterious men in the global intelligence community. But as with all things in this universe, happiness is merely the calm before the storm. Now, ladies, we must discuss the most explosive element of this entire hush-hush rumor. The twist that no one is fully prepared for involves Josslyn. It seems like the writers are brewing a deeply uncomfortable and highly dramatic love triangle that will pit mother against daughter. What if Josslyn has been harboring a secret, growing attraction to Z this entire time? We know that Z was incredibly impressed by Josslyn's skills and potential within the agency. High chances are that during their interaction, Z utilized his signature charm and flirted with Josslyn long before he ever set his sights on her mother. Josslyn, being young and drawn to danger, might have genuinely believed that Z was romantically interested in her. The truth might be way more complicated than a simple professional mentorship. There could have been a palpable, unspoken tension between Josslyn and Z that Carly was completely oblivious to. Imagine the sheer psychological devastation Josslyn will experience when she realizes that the powerful, intriguing man she was slowly falling for has suddenly shifted his focus to her mother. The behind-the-scenes whisper suggests that Josslyn will be forced to watch Z and Carly grow closer, witnessing the lingering glances and the intimate conversations. At first, she might try to deny her own feelings, brushing it off as mere professional respect. But high chances are that the green-eyed monster of jealousy will rear its ugly head. Josslyn will begin to feel a profound sense of betrayal from both sides. She will be furious with Z for leading her on, for making her feel special, only to discard her for her mother. What if this perceived rejection triggers a massive identity crisis for Josslyn, making her question her own worth and desirability compared to the formidable presence of her mother? The anger Josslyn feels towards Z will be nothing compared to the absolute fury she will direct at Carly. It seems like Josslyn will view this entire situation as the ultimate betrayal of trust. She will convince herself that Carly intentionally stole her romantic prospect, sweeping in to claim the prize just as Josslyn was finding her footing. The unconfirmed leak teases a catastrophic mother-daughter confrontation that will leave viewers breathless. I anticipate a scene filled with raw, unfiltered emotion, where Josslyn completely unloads years of pent-up resentment. She will likely accuse Carly of always needing to be the center of attention, of never allowing her daughter to have something of her own. High chances are that Carly will be completely blindsided by these accusations, genuinely having no idea that Josslyn harbored any romantic feelings for Z. But in the heat of the moment, the truth rarely matters as much as the pain. Carly will try to defend herself, insisting that she never meant to hurt her daughter and that her connection with Z developed organically. But what if Josslyn refuses to listen? The truth might be way more complicated than a simple misunderstanding. This conflict could expose the deep-seated insecurities that have always existed beneath the surface of their relationship. The behind-the-scenes whisper indicates that this argument will not end with an apology. Instead, it will result in a devastating Cold War. The family tension will escalate to agonizing levels. Josslyn might completely cut ties with Carly, refusing to be in the same room as her or Z. This drastic storyline shift will leave Carly heartbroken, torn between the new man in her life and the daughter she would die for. In the center of this family meltdown stands Z. We have to question his true motives. Is he genuinely falling in love with Carly, or is this part of a sinister manipulation? High chances are that Z is a master chess player who enjoys watching chaos unfold. What if he intentionally played both Carly and Josslyn against each other for his own amusement? It seems like Z is walking a dangerous tightrope. If he continues to string both women along, playing on Carly's vulnerability while keeping Josslyn in his orbit, he risks a massive explosion. The truth might be way more complicated than a simple love triangle. Z could be utilizing this romantic drama as a smokescreen to distract everyone from his true hidden agenda within the agency. Of course, we cannot forget about Valentine. The unconfirmed leak strongly implies that Valentine will not simply fade into the background. Once Valentine catches wind of Z's pursuit of Carly, a fierce and deadly rivalry will ignite. Valentine fights dirty, and he will use every resource to eliminate his competition. High chances are that Valentine will launch a counteroffensive, trying to expose Z's manipulative tactics and prove to Carly that Z is playing a dangerous game. What if Valentine stages a dramatic intervention, putting his own life on the line to save Carly from Z's psychological web? It seems like we are heading toward an epic clash of titans, with Carly caught right in the middle of two powerful, dangerous men fighting for her ultimate devotion. Meanwhile, Sunny will be watching this spectacle unfold with smug satisfaction. The behind-the-scenes whisper suggests Sunny will use this disastrous triangle to validate his warnings. He will point to the shattered relationship between Carly and Josslyn as definitive proof that Valentine was never the right choice, and that stepping into the spy world only brings misery. High chances are that Sunny will try to step in as the protective patriarch, attempting to shield his family. But what if Sunny's interference pushes Carly further into Z's arms out of sheer defiance? The truth might be way more complicated, as the tangled web of love, jealousy, and betrayal threatens to consume everyone involved. If you thought you knew what was coming, think again, because the shadows are hiding a monster that no one is prepared to face.